Hey, 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 we're upgrading the intros. How y'all doing today? This is SolSista Therapy, Childhood Trauma Podcast. I am your host, Plum Queen.
I am Taquita, Scorpio sun.
All right. And we appreciate y'all giving y'all time and your energy and, coming to help and heal with us. Okay. Now, our sister, Misha, she has some other things that she needed to take care of. You know how we do. Spirit got it. We got to move how spirit needs us to. So, we're going to hold it down for the sis. Okay. So today, that also gives our sister Scorpio sun her shine today. Okay. We are going to be highlighting some of your experiences and, what I'm saying, in the hopes that this is going to help others, identify their issues, help them on their process so we can all heal together. All right. Now, I'm just going to throw in a little commentary, you know what I'm saying, once in a while. But yeah, sis, this is you. So let's get it.
Hey y'all, what's up? Hope y'all having a good Saturday. So I'm just gonna hop into my story and just kind of give y'all a little background on me. And pretty much the premise of course, this show is to heal, of course, after you identify your trauma. And we're kind of in a segment of where we are focusing on what affected us personally in our life and how, of course, how we overcame it and things like that. So my personal experience and what my childhood trauma was for me was physical abuse at the hand of me, my siblings, and my mother. When I was younger, I was 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. My mom met my stepdad, and just like any other situation, you know, you wake up one minute nobody's there, the next day, somebody's there. So she was entertaining him, and he quickly kind of just like inserted himself in our lives, made it known that kind of like it was almost like, of course, looking back on it now, I can see it, the signs, but at the time, of course, being a child, you don't know no better. And he came in and quickly inserted himself in our lives and made it to the point where he, was like, I'm y'all dad. You know what I'm saying? Me, my sister, my brothers, we all have separate fathers. So their fathers were not around. I probably rarely ever seen them. My dad, he will come, but I never really had like a close knit relationship with my dad. Like I would see him, I'll go over there, but it was just I would spend more time with his wife and their kid, her kids than I did with him. Like I seen them and then I didn't. So it was never those talks, those father, daughter talks and, things like that. So anyways, it kind of started with like control. Like I didn't see it all. I didn't really see it until I seen it. You know, me being a child, you know, I would hear the arguments, I would hear all of that, and then I would hear the tussling and the fighting and the screams and things like that. So it kind of just went from, it just kind of like came out of nowhere and it just started happening. Then it started with the control of, you know, me and my siblings and things like that. Mind control over my mom, you know, taking things from her. Um, Drugs were involved. It was just so much craziness going on. But the significant things that stood out the most for me, you know, just like being in a situation, you know, hindsight, looking at it now, you know, I can understand, or, you know, I can kind of get it. But at the time, you know, I just didn't understand why me and my siblings had to go through what we went through. And I did blame my mom a lot because, you know, she had all the control and power to have us in those situations. And with physical abuse, it's a controlling thing. You know, you think you're in love or you feel like you're in love and you are scared to let something go that is hurting you and is not good for you. And my mom just constantly kept going back. My family got involved, but you know, with family, after so much, you know, and the person keeps going back, it's only so much they can do, right? They can interfere, but if the person's going to keep going back and keep doing the same thing, it's just like people get to the point where they throw their hands up. So it was just like a constant back and forth. He would put his hands on her. He would abuse me, my sister, my brother. I think my brother and my sister got the, you know, the really tough end of it because they were like a little bit misfits. They get in trouble in school. Like I was like the one that was like, you know, kind of trying to stay on the straight and narrow. So I would see them get the bulk of it a lot. You know, especially my brother, you know, he would like literally put his hands on my brother, punch him in his chest, just different things like that, and call him a fag. Just different, like it was just like emotional abuse, disrespect. He literally would make me and my sister like exercise and things like that. So then things will come from like stemming from like, you know, personal appearance and how I look and how I feel about myself. And because my mother was, you know, a little bigger when she was younger, so he was like on her about it, and then I guess he thought that we would follow suit, so it was just like a, like forcing us to like do certain things and whatever. He also sold drugs. That was very evident to us. He even had us partake in bagging drugs and all of that, like just different stuff. He also fought dogs. So we would literally be sleeping in our beds and we would hear nothing but dogs barking and the you know, the sounds of dogs in our basement. And then we would have to go down there and smell the stench of blood and clean up blood off the floors and this, you know, throw away dead dogs. Like this is like the stuff that I had to go through, you know. And I just, it got to the point where, what kind of took me to the point where I actually finally ran away for the first time is, it was a situation. I don't know what was going on. And I kind of got in trouble. I think I was on the phone. I wasn't supposed to be. My mom was literally right there, and he looked at me and he was like, well, you weren't supposed to be on the phone, da 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 da. And I never thought that this was like something that really happens in real life, but literally he slapped me so hard that I literally urinated myself. And that's never ever happened to me before. And it was like just a fear came over me and I was just scared. And I couldn't even sleep that night. I just made up in my mind that I'm not going to be here anymore. So I literally ran away, went to my grandma's house. And when I was there, of course, I love my grandma to the death because she did everything she could to really kind of keep us from that, me and my brothers and sisters, even my mom. And so when I was there, I literally contemplated suicide so many times. I just would sit there with a knife to my wrist, wanted to end it all, crying like constantly. I didn't have really access to any kind of medications, but the medications I did, I was just like, I'm about to take all of this. So I literally contemplated suicide on several occasions. And I just was like, the only thing that really got me through that time, to be honest, to where I just really didn't go through with it, is because I just was really in this energy of like knowing that it was something bigger. It was something more than this, you know? And at that time, being 14, 15, 16 years old, is like, I'm just like, I just kept saying, this is like, why do I have to live this life? You know, why do I have to keep going through this? And it was just really tough, you know, because as a child, you can't do anything. You're like forced to be in the situation at the hands of your parents, you know? And I remember my mom coming and she was like, "You don't got a choice. You got to come back home." I did not want to go back. And not even 2 seconds after I walked in the door, he literally threatened my life and told me if I was to call the police again, he was going to kill me. Like, literally, all of these things. And I'm like, it was just crazy. Like, I got my life threatened on multiple occasions. My mom will constantly keep going back to him, and it was like I felt like she was putting him before us. Like, she seen the abuse, just all of this, at like she was in the midst of it too. Like, it was happening to her, but it was almost like she was brainwashed. Like, she was just holding on to a situation that was not good for her or her children. um One of the one situations that really stuck out to me, to where it was just like something I would never forget, life changing. He actually got to the point where he pulled a gun out on her. And he pulled a gun to her head, and I seen it. And as a child, you know, you don't know no better. And the only thing I could think was run. Me and my brother literally ran out the house. I believe my cousin was outside in her car waiting, and my mom was still there. My sister, bless her heart, she's such a brave soul, and she literally stand in between the situation. I literally left, and all I kept, the only thing I can really remember is looking up to in the house, sitting in the car, looking up at the house, in that same, at the window in the room that they were in, just waiting for a flash, or waiting to hear the sound of a gunshot. Like that, it's like I was just sitting there, just like, he's gonna pull that gun, that trigger. So luckily he didn't. And my sister and my mom came out, and but she went back to him again after that. My mom didn't really leave the situation until I was grown. I had kids of my own. But right before that happened, all of the anger and the fear turned into frustration. Well, all of the fear turned into frustration and anger. And I just got to the point where I was about 16, 17 years old. I just got to the point where I just didn't care no more. And I just developed this I don't give a fuck attitude. And I had made my mind up that if he ever did anything again, I was going to kill him. Like, I'm not, like, I promised that I was like, I'm going to kill him. And I really made up in my mind that that's what's going to happen. And I feel like God just stepped in, because God knew that I was going to go through with it. Because after I made that up in my mind, nothing happened again. Like, I don't know if it was the energy that I was putting out, like, don't fuck with me, because I ain't got time no more. But I don't know what it was, but he didn't try me no more, like, at all. And if I seen something, I like spoke up, because if I had such a fear of this man, I was so scared. I didn't speak up, didn't say anything, because I knew, like, it was times that if I would look a certain way, like, he disrespected my mama on top of disrespect. Like, he would look at other women, like when we were with him, and if we looked at him looking at other women, he would literally slap the shit out of us for, and you bet not, like, it was just crazy. Just like the shit that I went through as a child, no person should have gone through things that I've gone through. And for me to still be here today and just be okay, and you know, live in a complete opposite of what I've been through, it's just crazy. I can go on for days about the stuff that I've been through, the trauma and everything, the physical abuse, the control, you know, the drugs, the dealing with dog fighting, raids from the police coming in your house, like, just so much crazy shit that I went through. Just the fear, running away, the wanting to commit suicide, the wanting to just like get away from all that. And in the midst of all of that, I was frustrated and angry with my father, because he knew what was going on. And instead of him coming in and taking me out of that situation, he just didn't do anything. So I developed this like animosity and this just like whatever. So, like, the two men in my life, my stepfather and my father, like I didn't get that energy, or I don't have or never got the representation of what a real man is supposed to be in your life, or how a man is supposed to treat you. All I got was fear and, control and abuse, so I start to see those patterns in the connections that I had as I got older, dealing with, men, or dealing with situations. And I started to realize that I had a codependency situation where I would hold on to situations that I knew wasn't good for me, whether it was like, emotional or, mental or whatever. And I was holding on because that's what I seen growing up. I seen my mother holding on to something that wasn't good for her, and keep going back to situations that wasn't, right, and it wasn't the way it was supposed to be. So, I had abandonment issues because my father wasn't there. He didn't come in. He didn't save me. So it was just like this, whole whirlwind. And I started to see how things affected me. And it wasn't until I started having children of my own that I kind of, got to a point where I forgive my mother and forgive my father, and not because they apologize, and not saying that they don't have any remorse for what they did. I'm not saying that they don't. And I don't feel like my parents are horrible people. I just feel like, I just went through a horrible situation, and I don't feel like any child should have to go through that. So, a lot of resentment was there. I had to get to a point where, like, I was alone through all this, you know what I'm saying? So, I didn't have like help, or, I could have easily, sitting here having drugs in my face. I could have easily turned to drugs and snorted and, been on powder and been strung out today. You know what I'm saying? I could easily be in jail, could have turned to selling, drugs and just different things like that. But, I seen what it did to me and my siblings, and I wanted better for myself. So me having kids literally right out of high school, you know, I, I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing, but I feel like it helped me become, who I am. Seeing me go through that, and, going through all of that, I wanted better for my children. So I literally dedicate my whole life to giving my kids what I didn't have. Going on trips, doing things and seeing things, and being there for them emotionally, being a single mother and having three kids and raising them, on your own, and just like, but I'm still doing the best that I can. I'm still giving them all of me because I know how it feels to, feel neglected or feel like nobody's there for you, being scared, not being able to speak up, or say or express how you really feel about something. So I went through a lot of crap, just a lot of stuff. Um, and I have a relationship with my mother today. I have a slightly relationship with my father today. And a lot of this is hitting home for me right now because my stepfather actually recently passed away like a month or two ago. So at first it was just like one of those situations where, like, it's not like, oh, I'm celebrating that he's passed, but at the same time it's like I didn't really feel anything, because, like, why would you feel something for somebody who put you through all of that? And what's so crazy is just a year, not just last year, because my mom and him was still married. My mom's been trying to get a divorce for forever, and he just wouldn't give it to her. And he literally has some very ugly words to say to my mom. And of course, my sister was there at the time when they were talking on the phone, and my sister just like went off on him. And he pretty much had no remorse for what he did. He pretty much said, "I'm glad I fucked up y'all life." Like, so this is just like, this is years later, I'll be 35 years old this year, and you're still on that same tip. Like, I don't give a fuck. I fucked y'all life up. Y'all are, and it's like, but you didn't. And you know what I'm saying? If anything, we are better. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was just like angry because I was like, I wish I was there when the conversation was happening, because I would have had a few choice words of myself. But,
That's why
I
you
never I never got that, apology for him, and he's no longer here. And like, I would say maybe a week or so after he passed, I don't know, like, I just like got really emotional and started crying. I don't know if it was just like a release of just like all the shit that we went through, or if I just like really felt something, but I know I just literally just was crying. And it was just like I was just releasing a lot of stuff, and it was like I didn't know how to feel. I was like, I don't know if I should feel bad, like, you know what I'm saying? And so it was just really crazy, just the amount of stuff that I went through. And you know, I never had a conversation to this day. I still never talked to my mother about what we went through and how she made us feel, and her putting us in that situation, how it affected us. Like, me and my sister was talking, and we were like, we literally got PTSD. And it's like, we really do, to literally be in your bed sleep and not knowing when this man is going to come in and say, get up and go do this or go do that. Or, you know what I'm saying? 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And you're a child and you have to do all this, and you don't have anybody to protect you. You don't have anybody who's like rooting for you or anything. And you're just, your life is being controlled and you have no control over it. That's just very scary to have to go through all of that. So, I mean, I've been through a lot of things, having the neglect of my mother, having the neglect of my father, physical abuse, mental abuse, control, having fear, scared to speak up, and, just kind of living in this shell, wanting to just kind of end it all, but just finding the strength within myself. And that's why I'm really grateful for my grandmother. Bless her heart, she's not here anymore. But she had me in church since I was a child. I remember going to church, sleeping, like, oh my God, why I have to be here, and just different things like that. But I'm glad that she instilled that spiritualness in me at a young age, because I feel like that faith is all I had to go off of. If I didn't have that, I don't think I'd be sitting here right now talking to you, because I've just been like there's nothing bigger than this. Like, I just felt like my life was being consumed. The walls were closing in on me, and like I just had no relief from that. So it's just like, it's still stuff that still kind of triggers me, and I get up, kind of, I'm still working through a lot of stuff. I've recognized a lot of things that really has, bothered me, and I've like looked in the mirror, and I've really overcome a lot, and I've grown a lot from a lot of stuff. And that's why I make it a very evident to be so a part of my kids' life, and just like really be there. Like, I'm always talking to them. If I sense anything wrong, we about to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want anything to go unsaid. And as I spoke on like the other podcast we did, like, my daughter came up with the idea of us just having like every Wednesday or once a week just sitting down and talking, and my kids just telling me whatever. If they feel some type of way about me, if they feel that I did something wrong or something rubbed them the wrong way, just giving them the floor to speak their mind and speak their truth and speak what they feel. And, because I didn't get a chance to do that when I was younger. I was literally silenced out of fear. And I don't want my kids to ever feel that way. So it's just that energy, and it just really, diminished my self-esteem, feeling like I'm not worthy or I'm not good enough. Just different things, especially when it comes to like relationships or dealing with men and just other situations, taking more than what I should be taking from certain people. Just constantly giving and giving and pouring from an empty cup, not having those balanced and reciprocal connections, having those connections where I'm constantly giving and giving, and I'm not getting what I deserve in return, to where it's depleting me. And then I don't have, anything left to give. So I had to start practicing self love and loving myself and putting myself first. And like, no matter how much I love you, no matter how much I care about you, like, if I know that it's depleting me and I'm getting to a place where I'm feeling lowly, I'm going to release myself, or, fall back from that situation and choose me, because at the end of the day, all I got is myself, right? So, and then I have kids that I gotta, think about, you know what I'm saying? I have to be my complete self and be 100%, to be there for my children, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a whole whirlwind of stuff. I hate that I had to go through that. I hate that me and my brother and sister had to go through that. But, it was an experience, and me overcoming that, like I could have easily turned to so much like drugs or just other stuff. I could be dealing with a man that's going upside my head. But because I seen that, I decided to go the other route. I don't put up with stuff like red flags, certain stuff that triggers me. I'm like, nope, sorry, can't deal with it. And that's why I'm so like black and white. Like it has to make sense for me. It's either all or nothing, because it's like I've been there, and I know those triggers, and I know me, and I know how I am, and I know what I've come from. And a lot of people may not understand or get it, but I just do the best that I can, and I try to protect myself and protect my heart, because that's where everything flows and runs through. So yeah, I just had to really kind of find my voice, and I'm grateful for this platform because it's helping me kind of speak up and giving me that opportunity to speak up and find my voice and just like really put myself out there and be very transparent, because there could be other people that's gone through the things that I've gone through or experienced the things that I've experienced, or maybe a lot worse. I'm just grateful that with all the abuse and the physical abuse and all of that, I'm just grateful that no one died. Like my mother and my siblings, like they're still here. So I'm grateful for that, even though it could have just went just the wrong, went completely different. So I mean, it is what it is. I'm just grateful that I'm here. Um, I'm grateful that I, decided to not, end my life or anything like that. God had so much more for me. He had a purpose for me. And I'm glad that even though I didn't understand it at the time, I'm glad that some kind of voice in me told me not to do it. So I'm grateful to be here. And that like literally is my story, just like dealing with all that and just trying my best to overcome it. And, like I said, I still got some stuff I gotta, deal with. I still got some stuff I'm healing from. And like one of those things I know that I really need to do is like, especially me, my brothers and sisters, really sit down and have a conversation with my mother. Um, you know,
Someone commented that.
yes. And I know that's something that definitely needs to happen. And me, I feel like I need to have a conversation with my father. And I do, because I feel like that will definitely prompt some healing on both sides. Because I feel like it's been swept under the rug and it's piling up, and like certain things will happen or whatever, and I'm just like, like I might talk to my sister about it, but I'm just like, I don't speak up. I don't say what I have to say. And, because I know my words, and I know like when I'm in that space, I can probably, my words can cut. So I try to be like, if I want to have a conversation, I got to be in like a really positive, like I got to be okay. Like I don't want to have a conversation from a place of anger. I want to have a conversation from a place of logic and understanding. And like I said, I'm not angry or mad. Like I said, I forgave my parents for myself so I can heal and grow and move forward. So I forgave them for myself, even though I never got an apology, even though they never acknowledged what they put me through. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not angry. It's just that, you know, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on, y'all know what it was. So why not? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like in connections like that, I kind of had a conversation with that with a friend, like in parent child connections, like I feel like the parent is the one who needs to initiate certain things. You know what I'm saying? um I don't have no problem with meeting anybody halfway, but you know what I'm saying, it's just like y'all gotta take a step forward. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, really getting to the point where I'm just really like learning myself, loving myself, like having conversations in the mirror with myself and saying, girl, you dope. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
deserve the best. You don't need to sit here and settle for anything less. You deserve all the goodness and abundance that, the creator has come into you. And, I feel like I'm a dope female. You know what I'm saying? I'm a
Right.
good person. I'm that chick. So I need to, I'm going to exude that, confidence. So that's definitely something that I definitely struggle with. growing up, and then bullying and things like that. Like just like going through all that shit at home, then going to school and getting bullied. Like it's just you. It was no escape. You know what I'm saying for me. So like I'm just so grateful that I'm here and I'm able to like give my story to others. And I just hope others can, like, just pretty much what I hope that people take from this is that, no matter how hard it looks or how it seems, it's just a moment. And I know that then I didn't understand it and I didn't get it. But, being on the other side of it, it was an experience. It molded and shaped me to the woman that I am today. And I'm so fucking resilient for it. You know what I'm saying? And I've been through a lot of shit. So, it's crazy. So, like, now for me to have gone through that, and that ain't even the tip, like, it continues. But for me to have gone through so much, I try not to let little things get to me, and I just try to just keep it pushing. I'm learning to just learn how to let stuff go, not to try to control the narrative of situations, just kind of go with the flow. And what's meant to be here will be. The things that is not, it'll fall away. But I know is all is okay. You know what I'm saying? So there's some crazy people out here. There's some horrible people out here. There's some very evil people out here that tries to control you and keep you down because they are struggling with their own shit. And I feel like he was one of those people, um, for whatever reason. And that's crazy. Like I've never said that to anybody. Like I never wanted to kill anybody. I never wanted to say that I hated anybody. But he was like literally probably the one person in my life that I felt that way about. Um, so and like even after all of that, years later, I still never had any like animosity. I just kind of just kept it pushing. And I feel like that's part of the big reason why I left my hometown and moved to where I am now. Um, and I never looked back. You know what I'm saying? I never moved back. I left at what 2021, and I'm here. And I just feel like it was God's way of like, yeah, it's time for a change. You need a different scenery. I just couldn't raise my kids in there. Like I keep thinking back to if I stayed there, just the life I would have had. No, it just wouldn't have worked. So I am grateful for where I'm at now. So progress.
Indeed, indeed. Well, yes, that was a very compelling story. I've been over here crying for your inner child
Yes.
the whole
I'm,
time you've been talking.
yeah.
I tell people all the time, this is why I tell you I'm not special.
Mhm.
I might have lost my arm, but I did not go. I have y'all heard about my issues last week. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But I didn't go through, that. I had a stepdad type situation, and I had some abandonment issues there, but he was not abusive. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? There was no, drug type situation. Those things kind of happened when I was younger. My aunts and them, they used drugs as their way of coping. So
Mhm.
I was around those things, but they didn't penetrate my life the way they penetrated yours.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, my heart goes out to your inner child because you're grown and you the shit now, like you just said. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, but what I will say is you definitely should have that conversation with your mother. Me and my mom has had several conversations, and I think now me having this platform out there, there's certain things
Mhm.
that we don't technically have to just do the one-on-one.
Mhm.
Because we're expressing it on here,
Mhm.
and I also say that everything that happens to us is for a reason.
Mhm.
A weird concept that most people won't really understand, but our souls are who we are. And when we
Mhm.
come into this world for our purpose, there's certain lessons and certain things that we have to learn in order to
Mhm.
become who we're supposed to be.
Right.
We don't necessarily get to choose what those lessons are. And they change depending on where you are, what your lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure
Mhm.
the lessons of our ancestors were a little different, you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying, than the ones that we're having now. So just having in mind that everything you go through is teaching you something and
Mhm.
preparing you and molding you to become who you are. It
Mhm.
gives you a level of acceptance. I'm not going to say peace. I'm going to say acceptance, of the situation. And then you can somehow find gratitude in it, especially when you get to a space where you're on the other side, like you said, and you can
Mhm.
see, what its purpose is.
Mhm.
So, and I feel like if we teach that early,
Mhm.
I think it would help the next generation, what I'm saying, of people to embrace that, what I'm saying, and it'll be less trauma. Again,
Right.
because the trauma comes from not expecting these things and, I'm saying, the shock. But if
Mhm.
you're prepared for something, what I mean, it may have a different effect. You gotta go through what you gotta go through,
Yeah,
whatever that is. But how you handle it, what I'm saying, it's
that's
different.
the key. Yep.
Yeah, that's the key on how you handle it. And
Yeah.
that will go to how fast or how slow you go on this learning curve. Because you're here for a purpose and life doesn't happen to you. It
Happy.
happens for you. I've been
Mhm.
hearing that a lot, and that's been the thing. So when I get in my little thought processes of doubt and all of that, that's
Mhm.
what I think. It's teaching me something.
Right.
I clearly I need to learn something, and I know that's hard to I guess accept in the moment. Especially when you're
Mhm.
talking about abuse and what I'm saying, really rough stuff. But indeed, it is for a reason, and if you survived it, you the shit. You are absolutely stronger than most
Sure.
people. So there's no
Exactly.
reason to fear it.
Yeah.
So healing that inner child and dealing with those things and talking to who you need to talk to. You may
Mhm.
not get that apology.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of people, who just can't help themselves. They're so stuck in their ways and their thought process that they truly do not believe that they're doing anything wrong. Just
Mhm.
that has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Even when people do things, it
Mhm.
doesn't have anything to do with you. It has everything to do with them and how they feel about themselves and what they're lacking in their lives, and they're trying to pinpoint that on you.
Mhm.
A lot hurt people hurt people.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle. So somebody hurt me. I'm going to assume your stepdad. I'm sure he had an abusive lifestyle. He probably had went through some of the same things as a child and grew up feeling like, well, this is how I keep my power
Mhm.
because his inner child was always scared. So let me be the predator instead of the prey.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
how a lot of people, take that. And it's a very
Yeah.
sad cycle and it has to change.
It
And
does.
the way to change it is to identify it.
Mhm.
So I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you for going out there because, I could talk all day about myself and shit like that, but
Yeah.
it's hard for others to do that. And I am glad that I have a platform for you and other people to
Mhm.
do that. That is truly one of the purposes of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Give us a voice,
Right.
right?
The voiceless a voice. Yeah.
Absolutely, because
Yes.
everybody has something to say.
Mhm.
Everybody throws chocolate need to be birthing, need to be on 10.
Yes.
You got to get that shit out. But I
Yeah.
keep holding stuff in, and that's why you're getting all these explosions. Because like
Yeah.
I'm a very emotional person. We was talking about this a little earlier about this whole side real astrology.
Yeah.
We found out, and I'm emotional, and when I feel, I feel it. So I got to
Mhm.
get that shit out. I can't be having conniptions and heart attacks and I can't do stuff like that. So if I
Yeah.
got to cuss, if I got to cry, if I got to come on here and what I'm saying and spill my guts, if I got to go run, meditate, whatever I got to do, but I have to get that stuff out.
Yeah.
Things like that breed disease.
Yeah.
We think it's not just the food we eat. Your energy, makes your body a breeding ground for those types of things.
Mhm.
So if your body is full of depression and full of pain, you know what I'm saying, you are susceptible to catch anything.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. Definitely about healing and just doing the best that you can. And like you said, you got to get it out. You can't keep it in. That's something that I'm still learning. A lot of stuff, like sometimes stuff affects me and I get in my feelings because I'm an emotional person. And I'm just, the type of person that, when I care, I care. You know what I'm saying? And just the small stuff, a person here and there, whatever, don't affect me. But when I really care about something or a situation or a person, like it can affect my whole being. So it's like I have to tread lightly with certain situations or certain people, because you knowing who you are and your triggers and knowing what you've been through, you don't want to kind of repeat the same cycle. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people do that. You know what I'm saying? Um, like you can get, just because you drunk poison before, you know what I'm saying, don't mean that, once you realize, okay, it's poison. At the time you didn't know, but when you realize that it's poison and it's presented to you again, that don't mean it's, don't, you're not gonna drink it, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what it is. You know it's not
Yeah.
right for you. You know it's not good for you. So it's kind of that situation, you know what I'm saying? And some people just don't understand that concept. When you know what something is for you, you know something is not right, you know that it's something, like, everybody has their own different poison, you know what I'm saying? So, just because you, like I said, you drunk it before, don't mean that once you come to realization of what it is, that it's okay for you to drink it again. You know what I'm saying? Just because you survived last time don't mean you're gonna survive this time. You know what I'm saying?
I
You
wish
gotta
I
really
feel that way about food, honey. I, but you so all I see is McDonald's. All I see is all I see is red meats and
right.
dairy. Like people don't understand that, and
Yeah.
maybe it'll click. That's a fact. Just because you've been eating certain things your whole life and you're still here, now that you know it's made out of plastic, now that you know it got nothing but chemicals, now that you know the meat is fake, you need to stop eating it.
Right. And some people will go back and just keep doing it. And they keep like, and it's the same situation. It's like bring me back to the situation with my mom. Like, it's something that's not good for you, but yet you keep going back. Like what is this situation doing for you? You know what I'm saying? Like what is it, like what hold does it? And that's when you have to kind of oppose the question, like, what is this doing for me? Why am I continuously going back to something that is not serving me? That is not pouring into me. You know what I'm saying?
Comfortability.
Yes.
It's so
Complacency.
comfortable. We get complacent in our
Yes.
trauma.
Mhm.
It becomes normal.
Mhm.
Change is hard.
It
Being
is.
being better is hard. You see what I'm saying? So you'll know for a fact that it doesn't, but you're so used to that.
Mhm.
You don't know what healing feels like. You don't know what
Mhm.
standing on your own to being to independent feels like. So you're scared, just like people are scared of death. You don't know what's going to happen to you on the other side, which is why you're so scared, what I'm saying, of going through the process, even though you know that is the only guarantee in life.
Mhm.
You born, there you have a born date and you have a death date. Everybody has one. We don't know when, but everybody knows. If you live, you must die. We all know this. Don't care who you pray to, what religion, everybody knows this. But so many of us are afraid of it.
Mhm.
You're so afraid because you don't know what's on the other side. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? The fear of the unknown. We got to stop doing that.
And that's just with everything in life.
Everything
People
in
will fear
life,
everything. Like
everything.
they're scared to take that risk and leave that
Mhm.
job, or people
Yep,
are scared to leave that relationship, or scared to
yep.
get into that relationship. Like people fear so much. People fear what they don't know, like you said, because they're scared of change. They don't know what to expect. But it's like it's a part of life. You know what I'm saying? People are scared of getting hurt or being disappointed. But hell, we all have been disappointed. We've all been hurt. Your mama, your sister, your cousin,
For
all
real.
of us have. It's an experience. It's about how you handle it. I've got hurt so many times. I've got knocked down so many times. I've been through so much shit in my life. And with all the stuff I've been through, I should have like a fucking 20-foot wall, built up around me right now and knocking everybody down that's trying to get in. But in spite of everything that I've gone through, in spite of the trauma, in spite of the pain, in spite of the hurt, I still have an open heart. I still can sit there and allow somebody to get in, knowing that there's a possibility of me getting hurt again. But you know what I'm saying? If I feel like a situation is worth the risk, and then I'm going to take it. You know what I'm saying? If this job is worth me risking leaving this one to go to it, if my heart and then my soul is pulling me over here, I'm going to take that risk. Or being independent and leaving my job completely and going on my own and just doing my own thing, I'm gonna take that risk. You know what I'm saying? If I feel like it's a great reward, or even if it's like a connection or whatever the case may be. So many people are just so scared and they live their life in fear, And fear ain't gonna get you nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta you just gotta go. Like, you gotta take that leap of faith. You gotta take that risk. YOLO. You only live once. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get to that last day you on your deathbed and you like, damn, I should have did that. Damn, I should. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have those regrets.
I'm trying to tell you now, I wasn't on my deathbed, but I was on my hurt bed and I thought
Right.
about those things. I thought about
Yes.
those things. I played a post. Somebody asked me, why do I post so many pictures of myself and why am I so comfortable with doing that? My story is I was in the hospital. My mom took a picture of me. I looked at the photo and I looked terrible. And it wasn't just because, you know what I'm saying, I was hooked up to tubes and none of that. I was looking at my skin. I was looking at my hair. I was just looking. And then I started thinking about, like, damn, had I really died, my obituary would have sucked. That was
Yep.
my first thought. I'm not even gonna lie. And I'm not a vain person. I'm not really about my looks,
Right.
but I
Mhm.
thought about that. You know what I'm saying? Then I watched this movie called Dorothy Dandridge, introducing Dorothy Dandridge, and she's
Mhm.
now Halle Berry. You know, she's narrating the story as she's making this picture collage, this huge picture collage of her life. So by the end of the movie, she's dead, but the collage is finished, and the guy that found her body, he's looking at it and he's going through memory lane about all the time that they spent and and all that jazz. That struck me.
Mhm.
Like, if I died at 22 years old, you know what I'm saying? There is no real record of my life. I didn't do anything. I didn't see anything. I didn't
Mhm.
make an impression. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do anything for anybody. I didn't make the difference that I thought I would, that my mom and everybody told me that I would one day. I didn't get a chance to do that. So now that I have this second chance, oh, I'm gonna make do.
Right.
So I snap, 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 snap everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a record of my life. And even think about the movie Troy.
Mhm.
Achilles. All he wanted was his name to live throughout the ages. He was willing
Mhm.
to die for that. He was willing to go out there, be motherfucking great in his life, so his name will forever live on.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? Because his mama told him, well, he had a choice. He could have stayed home, had a wife, had some
Mhm.
kids, and had a regular normal life and been chilling. He
Mhm.
did his thing. But nah, he was great and he wanted greatness and he was willing to sacrifice his life for that. And it
Yes.
worked. I'm talking about him right now. I know it's a Greek mythology and all that jazz, but
Mhm.
the concept of that. And yeah, whether I have children or not, I'm going to leave a legacy, you know what I'm saying,
Exactly.
when I'm gone. And it's going to help others. That's what I
Yeah.
truly want. I want my life to have meaning and purpose, not just,
Yeah.
I know it has purpose to my mama and my man and the people who care about me, but I feel like it's my purpose to be
Mhm.
that for the world, as many as people as I
Yeah.
possibly can. So I got to put it on out there. So I
Right.
have a second chance to do that. So
Definitely. You definitely can't live in fear. You definitely can't. You will never get anywhere being scared of the possibility of something. Like, life is all about experience and ups and downs, and like, you just got to go through it. It's just part of life, and you hold yourself back when you are living in fear. And I lived in fear way too much when I was a child. I refuse to live in fear now. You know what I'm saying? When I was a child going through the shit that I went through as a child, that's all I was, is scared. Scared to do this, scared to do that, constantly living in fear. I don't got time for that. So I'm just going to live my life and be confident and, do the things that, need to do and what my heart and my soul is calling me to do. And I have, like, all my life, even from a child, I've always been the type to really love on people and really be there for people and help people. Like, I've mended situations and stuff in my family, rifts in my family. As a child, I'm getting adults to back together and talk to each other, and I'm the child. You know what I'm saying? So I've always had that, energy, or had that mindset that I always wanted to help others and give to people. I always wanted to make sure I'm in a position to where I can give back, whether that's financially, emotionally, educationally, whatever the case. Like, I'm always like preaching to my kids, like, look, when I was young, I didn't have this. I'm about to give y'all this information. I'm dropping these dimes on y'all and this knowledge on y'all so y'all can have a better life. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can have the knowledge that y'all need to get out here and go. You know, I went straight from being a child to being a mother. I didn't have time for myself. I didn't have time to heal myself from the stuff that I went through. Like I just went from one thing to another. So like I feel like my kids are a lot older now. So it's just like I'm at that place where I'm like, okay, I'm like really kind of focusing on me. And not that I haven't been, but I just feel like these last couple years I've been really nurturing and pouring into myself, you know what I'm saying, and making time for myself. I remember this was probably like, I don't know, a year or two ago, but I see people post like, yeah, I'm taking myself on a date. I'm like, who goes out on a date themselves? Who like what? Girl, I went to the movies.
And I got a man.
I had the best time. I was by myself, and I had the best time
Yes.
that I had. I couldn't have had that time with somebody else. I'm in the movie theater, kick cackling, laughing all out. Girl, I had a good old time by myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you just gotta do by yourself. If you got to, if you by yourself, you gotta love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't love yourself, who you can't expect nobody else to love you. So you gotta get it together. You gotta be confident with yourself. And so, yeah, it's just all about, healing and getting out there, not being scared, not living in fear, and not allowing past trauma, not allowing past situations that probably didn't go the way that you wanted to go to hinder you and to, enable you from continuing to get out there and trying again. The song that just came in my head is Leah's song, Try Again. Like, you gotta dust yourself out and try again. So you gotta keep getting out there.
Oh wow.
Oh, I'm great. I'm so
Wow.
grateful that
Absolutely.
we can
Absolutely.
give you some type of reassurance or something.
This is what
So
I say, man. People always got it. I couldn't imagine that.
I couldn't either.
Couldn't
Like,
imagine
and just imagine that. You know what I'm saying? People look and take their life for granted.
do
They
it.
they look at their life like, oh, woe is me. This is this and that, and it's always somebody out here with something that's worse off than where you are. So you
Right.
just got to be thankful for what you do have, and stop looking at the glass half empty and look at it half full, and be optimistic about life.
Oh, this is a guy, girl, but you about to make me cry right now. I got a cousin who's in prison right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He has mental issues.
Wow.
If you're watching it, I hope that wherever he is, that he can watch this too. This is
Yeah.
why I wanted to do this.
Yes.
This is exactly why I wanted to do this.
Yes. Definitely.
More power to you. I don't even want to fuck your name up, so I'm not even gonna try.
I'm sending love, love, love to you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Definitely, because we all need it. Everybody's going through something, and that's what people fail to realize. Everybody's going through something, and we just all need to pay it forward and, kind of be in this selfless energy and, kind of not to the point where you're neglecting yourself, but, constantly give to others. And, we got to be the representation in the face of, like, being in this energy of of love and just positivity, so somebody else can take from that and they can turn around, a good deed. And i I remember going being just something random, but just I remember and I literally had a testimony. I had to like break down and be like, thank you, Jesus. And it was really empowering for me. But this happened like maybe a year or two ago. I was in a driveway. I think I was at Wendy's or something. They were taking all damn day. I was complaining. I was irritated. I'm just da 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 going off whatever. And then I get to the window, and the lady hands me my stuff, and I'm about to hand her my money. She was like, "Oh no, the person in front of you paid for you." And I literally just had to sit there and humble myself. And I was just like, "This is so crazy because this is a testimony." It's like we often get in those places where we're constantly, irritated and complaining and this and that, and you know what I'm saying. And sometimes we just need to kind of just like slow down and just kind of look at the positive in a situation, you know what I'm saying, and know that God, he's working it out, even though we don't see it. You know what I'm saying? And I literally just had to sit there and be like, dang, like, it wasn't nothing huge, but it was huge to me in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Because of the energy and the space I was in. And I'm just like trying to hurry up and rush to get to something, but not knowing that it was already taken care of for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how life is. Like, God already got it taken care of for you. And you just got to know and have that faith and that reassurance that it is going to work out. And you just do your deed. You know what I'm saying? You sitting here complaining and going through all this and throwing a fit and whatever, it ain't going to change your situation. So you just got to be in that energy of just like you being good. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that it's taken care of.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're welcome.
You said a major thing about doing your part.
Yes.
Most people don't have faith, even religious folk, because religion tells you it's supposed to be all about faith. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
Blind faith. Most people don't do the work.
Mm-mm.
Faith without works is dead. You can want all you want to, but if you're not putting your best foot forward, it's not going to
It's
matter
not gonna come.
at all. So I
Mm-mm.
think that's the biggest thing why most people have a hard time with that, because it's hard sometimes to do your part, especially when you're
Mm-hmm.
busy stuff. I've had that issue a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, I've been trying my hardest. I didn't ask for this situation, at all, and I've been doing everything that I need to do, what I'm saying, to do something better. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I feel like certain things should just come to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I do need help with this, and maybe somebody else should, have that responsibility to do this, because I'm already, going through so much, and the universe had to teach me, no, man, that
Yep.
ain't how that works. This
Yeah.
is your journey. This is what you chose to do, so you're gonna have to do it.
Right.
And if you, and whether we bring you aid or not, if this is what you said you're gonna do, then go on and get it done. And
Mm-hmm.
I've had to work on myself with that and keep my emotions together to not be discouraged. So I
Mm-hmm.
have to discipline myself in certain ways, because I have developed some comforts,
Mm-hmm.
to make me feel good about myself, to help me with, being by myself and loving on me, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, doing day things. So there are certain comforts that I have now that no longer
Mm-hmm.
serve me.
Yeah.
So now I have to get rid of them. I have to change them up, because that's the only way I'm going to move to my next level.
Mm-hmm.
So having that realization, I promise you, y'all, I know it's hard. I know it's hard, but for me, fulfilling my purpose is more important than my comforts.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Have to fulfill my purpose by any means necessary. So whatever it is I got to give up, whatever it is I have to change, whatever that is, that's what I'm willing to do, because
Mm-hmm.
I want to fulfill this life the way it was supposed to.
Yeah.
So,
Sometimes you got to break out of your comfort zone. Some people get too comfortable and too complacent in their life. And like you said, they're used to the familiarity of something. And it's hard for them to break away from that. You know what I'm saying? Because they're, again, that fear of the unknown, not knowing what else is out there. Um, just being scared. I remember I moved here at 2021. I had a 2 year old and like a 6 month old, and no family, didn't know nobody, no friends or anything like that. Of course, my kid's father, he was here, and his mother, but outside of that, I knew nobody. And I went through depression, like just craziness. This kept going back and forth on whether I wanted to go back home. I actually did go back home for a minute, and I was probably there for a month. And like, you definitely, one thing I know that I follow is my soul. Like, when something is not right for me, my soul will let me know. Like, I would feel so uncomfortable in that situation, in that time, that period, or whatever. Even if it's like a person I'm connected to, like, if my soul is not resonating, it's something, it'll just let me know. It's my intuition, it's my instinct, right? So my soul wasn't resonating when I went back home, and I was just like so confused. I was like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do? Like, I really had to like speak with my spirit team and be like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm depressed here, but when I go back home, I know that's not where I'm supposed to be. So I end up coming back, and I made it work. I got to a point where like I kept getting hurt. I kept, it was a situation where it just like forced me. And that's one thing about God, the universe. Like, when you are in a situation that, the universe is trying to like elevate you from, God gonna make you uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? He gonna put light a fire up under you. And that's going to force you to change because he know otherwise you ain't going to change on your own. And that's that stubbornness, you know what I'm saying? Us being complacent, that
I
fear,
tell you, I tell
you know, that fear. And sometimes, you know, you have to go through a whirlwind and you have to go through this, you know, awakening, and you have to have all your shit just fall apart before you can really get the courage to really like take that leap, because you like, well shit, I ain't got no more cliff, I'm right here at the edge, I ain't got nowhere to move, so now you ain't got no choice but to jump. But what we fail to realize is like God gives us so many, dropping all of these, little knowledge balls and just all this stuff, and keep giving us options to actually do it, but we don't take heed to it. You know what I'm saying? We, again, red flags, you see it and we know it's there, giving us the options to actually take that step, and take that leap of faith. But instead of us doing it, we wait until, again, we ain't got no more cliff left and we ain't got no choice but to jump. So it's like somebody pushing you off the damn cliff when you could have just did it yourself. But it's just like sometimes that's what life has to do. You got to go through all of that stuff. And like I got to a really tough time, and then I really was like, I got to get my shit together. I kept looking at my children. I'm like, they are dependent on me. I got to get my shit together. So I got my own place. I started working. I started meeting people, and then that's when things started to kind of get better for me. So it was really scary, leaving my whole family. This is all I've known all my life, and moving to 500-600 miles somewhere, else or wherever, and now you got to start all over. You got to do it on your own, not having any, help, and just like really out here on your own. So I made it work. I'm still here, and I'm grateful for me, moving here, and I'm good, and so it was a hard journey. I met so many beautiful people that's like family to me now. People that I met when I first moved here that I'm still like friends with, and had it been not been for them, it was a lot of shit that I probably wouldn't been able to get through. So I'm really grateful for those people. They know who they are, but it's just been really, sometimes you just got to get uncomfortable, and sometimes you just got to get in those spaces, like I said, when the universe, when God is making you uncomfortable, you know that it's time for a change. You know it's time for you to take that leap of faith and move. But some people, like I said, they wait till ain't no more cliff left and they get pushed off before they actually decide to do something. But not knowing that all the while you had options and choices, and you could have actually done it on your own. But people just wait till it's like the last minute, And so when I start to see those signs that it's time for me to keep it pushing, just for instance, like my last job, I was working. It just got to the point where it was so uncomfortable. It was just so much shit happening. It was to the point I was crying. I was stressed out coming home. Like it was just so much crazy stuff. And I knew that that was God's way of telling me it's time for me to go. Like, cause I've been in that position before. So I'm like, I know it's God's way of telling me to move on. So I started to look for other places to be. And every time that I'll be like, okay, things will start to get a little better. But as soon as they start to get better, it's like, boom, something crazy happened. And it's like worse than the first time. So I just got to the point where I was like, yeah, it's time to go. I can't keep holding on to this. It's time for me to go. God is trying to move me somewhere else. And he opened up a door, and I'm grateful for the change that I made. It was the best. It was the best for me. So I don't have no regrets, but it's just like I feel like people need to listen more to their higher self, to their God, to their bodies. Like your body, your soul, your heart would tell you when something is not right for you. When that, you got to listen to that, because it ain't there for nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's called your intuition, and you got to listen to it. And it's definitely going to guide you in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Some people just hard headed and being stubborn. I know I can attest to it. I've been there, but I'm learning to let go and just flow. You know what I'm saying? When something is not right for me, if it's not meant for me, if it starts to become a strain or starts to become whatever, I know it's time for me to let it go. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't no hard feelings. It's just one of those things. You just got to keep it pushing.
that's it. Well, I have two metaphorical, I guess, thought processes,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're going to let everyone get to their Saturday because actually
Yeah.
Walmart is about to knock on my door some of my groceries.
Girl.
So, as far as you stating that, how you have to let go of things, and how
Mm-hmm.
people not, you being pushed to the cliff.
Mhm.
I'm a very attached person. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Especially when it comes down to people that I care about. I'm
Mhm.
very adaptable with situations, but people I'm very attached to.
Mhm.
So once I get attached to you, you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot for me to let go. You have to really, really, really hurt my feelings for me to, you know what I'm saying, to
Yeah.
just be like, let me just fall back because I'm gonna try very hard. I'm gonna see which way I can fix it, what I gotta change about myself, so we can the feeling can be the same, so we can
Mhm.
have the same vibe. And that ain't what it's supposed to be. So the universe will put me in a situation or let something happen or let somebody do something,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, that rubs me the wrong way. So it makes me have to sit back and think like, all right, let me fall back because this doesn't feel good. I'm uncomfortable now.
Mhm.
All you gotta do, you want me to dip off, you want me to fall back, just make me uncomfortable. Because
Yep.
when I'm uncomfortable, I'm gonna love up on yours, you know what I'm saying, do all that, get all my energy. But once it's there, then I get so that's what I've noticed. So I'm actually trying to train myself to not have to get pushed to the edge, like you said. You know, it
Yeah.
doesn't always have to be so extreme. It's the same difference. I
Mhm.
literally have to be pushed, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, to be uncomfortable for me to make certain changes.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm too emotional for that, so I need not put myself through that. When I
Mhm.
see the signs that okay, I need to fall back, then I'm gonna just fall back, and then that
Mhm.
alleviates a lot of anger and
Mhm.
negative feelings towards other people and other situations. Because
Mhm.
again, they're all lessons. If it ain't them, it's gonna be somebody else, and if it ain't that
Mhm.
somebody else, it's gonna be somebody else. So it's not really the person, it's not really the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's the lesson that you're supposed to learn.
Mhm.
So that's how I don't take things because I used to be my thing. I felt like, well, if I'm falling back, that means that changed the way I feel about you. I don't care
Mhm.
about you the same, or I don't love you the same. But no, that's what I'm used to. I love you. I'm supposed to be that way. And that was my turmoil within myself.
Mhm.
And I had to let that shit go.
Mhm.
I am full force who I am. I love up on you from the getting. What you see is what you get. I have my heart on my sleeves. You don't really have to figure out my motive, my intentions, or none of that.
Right.
I'll lay it out there for you, you know what I'm saying, in the forefront.
Right.
So if that's not enough,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, and if that doesn't resonate, then that just means it wasn't meant to be.
Right.
That's no knock on you. That's not no knock on me. That don't mean we're bad people. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that we're not amazing. We just not on frequency. You're not supposed to be attached to everybody. There's a billion people in the world. You are not going to be connected and cool with everybody. Not. That's just not realistic.
Yeah.
So just be grateful for those who you are connected with. Use that and then continue embrace the lessons that you learn from the other people. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That you because you connect with somebody, you resonate with them, even if it's just
Mhm.
for a moment. Something
Mhm.
about y'all is on the same page because you're in each other's space. You're in each
Right.
other's aura. So sometimes when you either elevate or not elevate or just moving in a different direction, that changes.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That person no longer serves you for
Mhm.
whatever reason. That's not a bad thing. We think of those things like it's so bad. Oh,
Yes.
I'm done with you. No, it's not that. Whatever energy I needed, you gave me. Any energy that you needed, I gave you. And now we done.
That part.
Yeah, that's
Girl, I completely get it, and I resonate with that 100% because that's exactly how I was, just like holding on to something, and I'm learning that sometimes it's not the right situation. Like you and two people, like you can grow apart, you can evolve, or like you said, somebody else can just go this way and go that way, and it doesn't mean that you are a horrible person or that you was just like whatever. It's just meant that it's just not meant to be because like where you're trying to go and what you're trying to do, and when that person that you're connected to is not aligning with that, then it's time to kind of break that away from that situation. And a lot of people try to keep that situation together, and I feel like those people are stubborn and those people are selfish because if you know somebody else is trying to do something and you're not on that same page, but you're still trying to hold on to them, let that person go. Let that person go live their life.
true.
It's
That's
not healthy, and it's not beneficial to neither one of you for to continue to hold on to a situation or to a person when you know that this is y'all are not aligning anymore. You know what I'm saying? You either have to choose that this is the situation that you're going to continue to be with, but if you feel strongly somewhere else and you know that it's not your time, then that's fine. But you got to let that person go. You got to let that person explore and live their life. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not fair,
Even if you're married.
girl. Even if you're married, and some people, because some people get married and they feel like that's it. You know what I'm saying? And some people evolve and grow in relationships, whatever, friendships, whatever. Some people just your paths are just not aligning anymore, and like it's just part of life. You know what I'm saying? We all have connections and relationships. Some people are here for a lifetime, some people are here for the spare time. But when I start, and that's one thing I've noticed, like I can get into a connection or I can deal with a person and everything is good, and then you get to that point where the question starts arises, like, okay, where is this going? What is this? Where are we going with this? You know what I'm saying? And if you going that way, then that's fine. But I know this is what I want. I'm not going to budge on that because I know my worth. I know who I am. I know what I deserve. And if you're no longer aligning with that and you don't feel the same way, then that's fine. Peace to you, my sister. Peace to you, my brother. It is what it is. But I'm going to go over here where I'm deserved, where I'm wanted, where I'm supposed to be. And you can go over there. If we meet again, like Erica Badu, I see you next lifetime. Okay. Okay.
Perfect.
Like,
Exactly.
I see you
Exactly.
next lifetime. Because if it's meant to be, it'll be. Like, I'm not about to, that's one thing I'm learning too, to let go. You know what I'm saying? If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. The people that's supposed to be in my life, they're going to make it evident. They're going to solidify a spot in their life for me. Some people make excuses and stuff like that. Honey, I got 3 kids. I'm a single mother. I got a job. I work some other stuff. I do everything, but I can still make time for the things and the people that I love. And if somebody starts to say that they got this going on, they got that going on, it's just a damn excuse.
Mhm.
Or, you know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel.
Oh, you're right. Everybody needs
It's just an
time
excuse.
who they want time for. I don't care
Yes,
who
people
you
make
are.
time.
I don't care how busy you are. You
Yes,
talk to whoever it is that you resonate with, and vice versa. That's
yes,
definitely an excuse.
yeah.
Walmart knocked on the door, but I gotta make my last stop.
Go ahead.
It's about healing first. Ain't nobody gonna take my groceries. So a great example that I use to remind myself of my purpose and
Mm-hmm,
how I cannot escape it.
mm-hmm,
The movie The Last Airbender Avatar.
mm-hmm.
If you
Love
got
that movie.
Netflix, it's on there. Sorry, disclaimer for all those who watch the anime and think the movie is whack. I get it, all that good
I
stuff.
didn't see. I'm the type of person. I didn't watch the anime, but I watched the movie and I liked the
I'm the
movie.
same way. The anime didn't really hit with me, and
Yeah.
I wasn't an anime person, but the
Mm-hmm,
movie resonates with me so much with my life.
mm-hmm,
The Avatar himself. Small story, just to tell you, he's pretty much supposed to be the guardian of all the 4 nations, and all the nations are, connected with the elements. You got the air, water, fire, what I'm saying, earth, what I'm saying, nations. So it is his job to keep balance. What I'm saying? And and he learns about this job as a child. And a part of his purpose, he is not allowed to have a family. He can't have a wife, can't have kids, can't do what other people do because it's his job to take care of everybody. Sometimes I feel that's the reason why I don't have children. You know what I'm saying? And I may not have them because it is my purpose, what I'm saying, to help others on a larger scale, not just my community. We're talking about the world, wherever it is that I can touch. But if I were to have babies, as a mother, I'm sure you know, as a mother, your main focus is your children.
mm-hmm,
Your family comes first. You will sacrifice other people for yours. And
mm-hmm,
when your job is to take care of others, that's a conflict. So this is why he wasn't allowed to have a family. But he
mm-hmm,
tried to fight it. He ran away, called himself dipping off or whatever. He got caught in a storm, survived, but 100 years passed by. He was stuck in this ice cube for 100 years, woke up in the same place, same age, still having to do what? Be the damn avatar. Could
mm-hmm.
not. could not run away from his destiny. And the more he tried, you know what I'm saying, the less he learned, the less he grew, the more he had to let shit go and had to accept who he was and what he was supposed to do. And that's when he started unlocking his power. So I'm saying all this to say to y'all, don't fight your purpose because you can't. I don't care who you pray to, which road you taking. You are here for a reason.
Hmm.
And if you don't pull forward, your universe, your God is going to push you to that edge. You cannot escape what you're here to do. So just go on and do it and be great. All right.
I love that.
That's the word of the day. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. Real quick, Taquita, tell them how to find you, how to get in touch with you, and all that
Y'all,
good stuff.
y'all can find me, email me at Scorpio2sun2 at gmail.com. If you're interested in a personal reading, I do tarot. I also have a YouTube channel on YouTube. You can follow me at Taquita Parker, and that's my YouTube channel. Also on Facebook, I got a group over there called Scorpio Sun. You can find me on there as well. I have my Instagram as well. So yeah, I do a lot of stuff, and I'm starting a new channel soon. I'll keep y'all updated on when I do that. It's going to be tarot and relationships, like hand in hand, because that's kind of how I got introduced to tarot, is through going through like some hardships and things like that. That's how I found out I had a gift, and 5 years later, this is where I'm at. So that's how y'all can find me.
All right, all right, all right. Well, you guys know who I am. I am Plump Queen. You can catch me on Facebook as Inspire Media Houston. It's gonna come through the ticker again. Here it comes. You can catch me on IG at 9Plump9Queen9, TikTok, Spiritual Amputee, and you can always get all of these podcasts on Anchor. So if you on Spotify, you can check it out. If you on Google Podcasts, you can check it out. So there's no reason for you not to get none of this healing or this inspiration. All right. You know that we are launching our streaming channel on Roku in April. I am so excited. Let me get these logos together. I'm learning, y'all. And you know, this tells you vision, so I ain't even going to front. Here we go. All right. We are streaming on Roku TV in April. I am so excited. If you are a content creator, make sure you hit us up because we want your content on our, you know what I'm saying, on our channel. This is all about inspiration. This is all about creativity. This is all about inspiring the world with all of your talents. So that is what we're looking for. Okay. Also in April, I'll be launching a Helping Hand Talk Therapy service. As you can see, this is helping folks, you know what I'm saying, all over the world, no matter where you are. So, but some people need a personal touch, and some people don't have, you know what I'm saying, like Scorpio Sun said as a child, she didn't have anybody that she can go to. You know what I'm saying? She kind of had to figure this out on her own, which makes her amazing. But some of us need some help, and that's what we're here for. So I want to start a type of situation where I can give some people some personal time, you know what I'm saying, so we can really get down into this healing. That's what my purpose is, so that's what we're here to do. All right. Of course, make sure every Saturday at noon you come and check us out here on the SolSista Therapy Child podcast. Ooh, that is a tongue twister. I'm gonna get it right the next time. And of course, next week we're going to have our sister Misha, who is going to do her spiel on, her experiences, with her traumas. Also on Sunday, which is tomorrow night, make sure you check us out. Me and 33 Master Teacher. It's Sundays with Spirit. She is also a tarot reader and an intuitive reader. So we kind of mix education and tarot together. So she does a pick of cards and all of that jazz, and kind of bring in my forte on it because I'm not a tarot reader. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I always say that's not my gift, but I do talk to my ancestors, and I feel like I'm supposed to share. So we're bringing a different twist. You know what I'm saying on tarot. Okay, that is all I have for right now. So we love, love, love y'all. We're gonna see y'all next week, and of course, always heal and always be inspired. Peace.